Good Monday, everybody, and welcome to Grid Vision and the SSRL Truck Series. I'm Joe LaCastro, joined in the booth today by Sheldon Atkins. Down in the truck, as usual, Taylor Burris. Sheldon, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good, man. Excited to be sitting up here. First time getting a chance to call this league. And what a beautiful track when you start out, man. A track that I've had a lot of experience and a lot of love for throughout the years. Even if it isn't my favorite to watch in real life.
Yeah, something holding you back from Phoenix in real life there?
The lack of passing. The lack of passing in real life.
That's fair. We're going to see how the boys do tonight, though. Phoenix, a very unique track, as you mentioned, in and of itself. It's a beautiful night. Gosh, jet black around the track, but it's going to be lit up here on Grid Vision, and we've got some fun stuff planned for you. Let's get a little bit of track info on screen, just a quick check on the conditions for the day. Even better, we got track video coming in hot from the Skycam, Phoenix, Arizona. Actually, this is in Avondale, I believe, which is just outside of Phoenix.
You get a look here. Look at this. This is beautiful, pretty much as flat as they can make a racetrack. So, a handful of years ago, they moved the start-finish line from the back straightaway to the front dogleg now, so that we can really emphasize the excitement on the restarts and those crazy four-wide dives down to turn one for the championship race. Going to turn one, man, it's flat, very slick, easy to bust your tail from center off, because all it wants to do is snap around on you coming through there. Go down that long flat, that short flat back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Then 3 and 4, probably two of the most difficult corners to get right in the NASCAR circuit, in my opinion. The only thing comparable to it is Pocono. You're going to come in there, the car's going to get tight all the way through to the center of the corner. Then once you get to exit, all it wants to do is snap around.
Okay, we're going to see who can handle that kind of situation today and who can't. I was just calling SSRL Master Series last week, and Phoenix was a bit of a tough spot for them. So if this is going to be any different this week, it's going to be trucks versus cars in terms of how they can keep themselves on the road, especially in that dogleg. We see a lot of bumping and grinding happen there when people cut down across the apron. So let's see. Let's move on to some keys to the race. If you've got three for us, why don't you lay them out?
Well, we're going to start out with what we just mentioned, dogleg. And basically, the most important thing starting this thing out is you're going to be full attack on the restart. You do not want to leave anything on the table. You want to be full charge, full send down into turn one as best as you can, because as we get later, the groove may widen out around here, but all that's going to do is allow people to get up there against that fence, and it's really going to make it impossible for you to try and get down to the bottom and make passes. And then outside of that, you're going to go below that yellow line as much as you can. Sometimes you can send a real crazy dive bomb slide job into turn one, but most of the time you're going to be cutting that dog leg on the front straightaway to click off a couple extra tenths a second per lap, so long as the tires hold you.
Alrighty, that is the official keys to the race. You heard it here. Let's keep those in mind as we watch these guys go around. 90 laps today with the first stage, with the only stage break at stage 35, I believe. Partly cloudy right now in Avondale, USA. We're about 300 feet above the sea level, and it's 69 degrees in the air, 72 on the track. What a lovely, perfect temperature. You only need the light jacket, maybe, and you'll be in great shape for the race tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I was racing. I got back in the saddle for the first time in a long time today, and I raced trucks at Phoenix. I gotta tell you, the guys racing in the Maconi series, they've got a long way to go before they're as good as the races I've seen on SSRL lately. We've got a couple of people that have been hot recently. Chad Genningsman has won 2 races so far, and we've got a few people that are coming up the chart on the SSRL championships. Let me just bring up the chart here. I'm gonna get ready to go to the grid here pretty soon. Let's see, and this is your first time you've called this series, right?
First time. Hopefully don't make a fool out of myself, but hey, I've done pretty good so far at making a fool of myself.
Well, you can't do any goofier than me, trust me. As the guy who barely knew what he was talking about half the time when I started, I'm still making a fool of myself every other day. Well, here we go. Chad Genningsman, he's got 385 points right now on the championship overall. That's a 60 championship point gap between him and Ben Stevens, who's at 327. Stevens has had 2 pole positions, but he's not been able to get a win out of that, unfortunately. A couple of incident points there. It looks like he's had some bad luck during the races. So Ben Stevens might be one to keep your eye on today. Kyle Westwood also. Kyle's had one stage win, and I think that he's got the heat. You know, I've been watching these races now for a couple of weeks, and I think that if somebody was going to maybe keep one in the pocket and really show off a really technical performance, you could see that out of Kyle Westwood this week. Chaos permitting, I guess, might be the best way to put it. Here's a camera on Jordan Sailors right now. Anybody you've got your eye on so far? Any names that are jumping out to you on today's roster?
Man, honestly, I got to go with, you mentioned him at the start of it here. I got to go with Chad Ginningsman, man. He is, look, I've ran a lot of official races, and it feels like being in a race with Chad Ginningsman and getting your butt whipped is one of the few inevitables in sim racing. That dude has a very impressive stat sheet when it comes to the official fixed series as well as the open series too. He does pop in around there every now and then. The dude's typically rocking.
So it's Death, Taxes, and Chad Ginningsman domination, huh?
Something along those lines. And I dig the, it looks like almost a Greg Biffle throwback on that number 92 machine, or 97 machine.
With the Cincinnati logos. Current pole sitter right now is Ben Stevens. He did a 26.4 around the track, pretty quick.
And hats off to him for the Veterans Day paint scheme on that machine too.
Yeah, that's right. Keep your eye out for a bunch of those. And thank you to our veterans and all who are racing and watching.
Look, there's Brian Britt.
Brian Britt, I believe, is also is a veteran. Is that correct?
I'm personally not 100% sure, but I do know that Brian Britt, one of our colleagues up here at Grid Vision, always good to see him out there flexing his muscles and running on track.
Yes, indeed. I'd be out there if it weren't for my abysmal I rating and the fact that I liked being up here in a cozy booth better than down there on the hot track.
You see, I got that problem where I got the itch for both. Especially when we're at a track like Phoenix, man. I just love getting out here and digging. Such a challenging circuit.
Yeah, really, absolutely. One of the more unique tracks. You remember every time you go around here. It's a track that I don't have a lot of personal experience with, but after today, I got to tell you, I had fun with its challenges. That transition when you go down and you can cut across the apron, that's a hard transition. It hits your tires hard. It's like driving your car over a speed bump at speed. And if you're not ready for that, and you're at any kind of angle, I can only imagine the carnage, and I don't even need to imagine. I've seen it. I watched it all last week. It really can wreck with people's equilibrium if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. And like you were talking about the transition, because a lot of times, and we saw it with the Wreck Performance Friday night top split broadcast as well as the Monday night, come down there at just the wrong angle. Coming off a turn 4, the back end wants to kick out naturally. And then you got to try and figure out how to dart that thing all the way down to the bottom to cut that dog leg. And when you combine that with the transition, and you're going to be slamming something on the bottom of the truck at some point when you hit that transition because of how rough it is. It's going to snap around on you, and you've got to be really careful and calculated with how you do it. You can't just stab it all the way to the wall, but if you can stab it all the way to the wall and make it stick, sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it, actually. Very visual. And I can see exactly what you mean. I think we have a new pole sitter also, Cody Porter. Ben Stevens had it earlier. Now it looks like Cody Porter has taken the position with a 26.2. Got eyes on Drew Kroll going around. Drew in the 80 machine.
Also, I didn't notice his name on the sheet when I first popped in here, but somebody that also is worth keeping an eye on is Heath Schneider, that Elliott Sadler Esports machine. Man, if there's one thing that team does, it's come in, be competitive, and potentially knock down some dominating wins in the process.
Well, Heath Schneider's
good guys over there with that organization. I know a handful of them personally.
Absolutely. Heath Snyder sitting pretty number 5 right now. He's moved up the field 1 place since since his start of the championship here, or since the last race, excuse me. So he's at 276. He could, with a good win, put himself in the top 3, or with a good finish here, getting the top 3 here pretty easily. So he's another person. Heath Snyder is going on that list of hot names to watch.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's time for some picks, boys. Let's see. I'm not gonna play it safe and go with Genningsman today. I'm gonna see if Kyle Westwood's got that one. I think he's got in his pocket. So I'm gonna get for Kyle Westwood.
I think I'm gonna go with Kyle Westwood is the 92 machine, by the way. I'm gonna have to go with one of our colleagues. I'm gonna have to go with Brian Britt in the 5 machine.
Ah, love it, love it, love it. And down in the truck, Taylor Burris, what do you got for us? The 92, that's Genningsman. Okay, maybe playing it safe, maybe not. We're going to have to wait and find out. Only Lady Luck knows, and she's not talking. As we get ready to get things going here at Phoenix. Sounds like the drivers are having their little chit-chat, and pretty soon the race will be gridding up.
These guys getting themselves set up here for warm-up.
Love that blimp view. And we got a little bit of news for you folks. Makoni Setup Shop is actually sponsoring tonight's race, the SSRL Truck Series. So if you're interested in any of those Makoni setups that you might be hearing some of the drivers talk about, or if you're in races and you're in an open race and there's a Makoni sticker on a truck that's just whooping you, definitely consider heading over to Makoni Setup Shop and using the promo code SSRL to get 15% off the setups that you're purchasing. So SSRL bringing you the best in sim racing, brought to you tonight by Makoni Setups. And let's make sure that code is correct. SSRL 15. Let's see, we're getting ready up here in the booth just as they're getting ready down there. Tomorrow we've got the Masters Series here on Grid Vision. Coming up, even more excellent racing available for you this week. So keep your eyes peeled on our YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the little button to get the notifications if you're not yet signed up. And as usual, if you'd like your league promoted, go ahead and reach on out to us at any social media platform we're on. We'd love to talk to you.
We're pretty easy to find out there. Just search Grid Vision and typically the ones that pop up.
Yep, look for the big GB.
I think we got a truck on track right now that probably has that on it.
I think we do. Let's look for Brian Britt.
Brian Britt said no to running us on the hood this week.
Betrayal.
Talking about a pay cuts on him in the future.
That's all right. He's not on the track yet, I don't think. Maybe. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll get lucky, get ourselves the Grid Vision trucks here. I love calling the SSRL series. Got a chance to start this series up, and now we're on the 5th race. This is where things are getting hot. There is a good amount of contention just behind the first place position, and all it's going to take is a couple of dominant finishes for someone to begin challenging Genningsman for that spot at the top of the list. So tonight could be the beginning of it. 90 laps at Phoenix. It's a shorter race comparatively. You might even call it a sprint or a drop in the bucket, but it's going to be exciting any way you slice it.
Phoenix. Phoenix pretty notorious for delivering some exciting moments here on iRacing. A lot of chaos too. It very well could turn into an attrition race, man. We got like a 30-plus car field this evening, and each one of those cars is going to try to be completely side by side with the rest of the field once we come into turn number 1 here at the start.
No, you're so right. There is a spot to do it, and it's going to happen if it can happen. That's how it usually goes here. What do you think about the over-under on the situation? Oh, here we go. The grid's actually popped up. Let's go on and go down the grid. Excuse me, I'm getting too excited about the race. Pole sitter, Cody Porter. And on second place on the outside, that's Chad Genningsman. Third place, Andrew Kotska. Fourth, Benjamin Stevens. Fifth, Tom Ringer. Sixth, Gary Donnellan. Seventh, Corey Moore. Eighth, Jordan Sailors. Ninth, Brendan Barrier. And 10th, Evan Ethel.
11th place, we've got Kyle Westwood with Colton Gardner in 12th. 13th is going to go to Heath Schneider with Brian Britt in 14th. 15th is going to be Scott Schroeder with Sean Stevens in 16th. 17th is going to go to Tyler Beeman with Charles Albert rolling off in 18th. 19th is going to be Dave Hughes Jr. with 20th being Hunter Hughes.
And at 21st, Christopher Fuge. 22nd, that's James Staples. 23rd, Jason Kratke. 24th, Art Nicotera. 25th, Gabriel Andy. 26th, Todd Parent. 27th, Frederick Seagraves Jr. 28th, Joseph Tucker. 29th, Logan Joyle. And 30th, Brian Alfin.
31st, we got Joe Prohl, followed by Jay Salmon in 32nd. 33rd is going to go to Kevin Martin. And rounding out the 34-car field, shotgun on the field will be Patrick Stein.
Love it. What a nice full pack we've got tonight of trucks going around and getting ready to get started. I hear engines revving. I see people doing a little bit of tire scrubbing as everybody gets stacked up. And remember, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and reach out to us in the chat. Participate all you want. We'd be happy to chat right back. Everything's off. Everything's looking good. The flagman's getting ready to go. Here comes the Geico restart zone, and we are go, go, go tonight on Grid Vision. Big old jump off the line from Cody Porter, but down to the inside briefly goes Genningsman. He's setting the pace for where he's going to go, I think. Porter rides the yellow line and gets things stacked up early in front. Genningsman very, very close behind him.
And Genningsman right now following the tire tracks, but we got a crash in the back of the pack. Huge contact.
Ooh, lot of red. It was going to happen. Let's just make sure it happens early, boys. Let's see who got wrapped up in that. I'm seeing a few names fly by my screen here. Logan Joyle, Christopher Fuge, Todd Parent, Joseph Tucker, Frederick Seagraves, Kevin Martin. Wow!
Oh, hard contact. Jay Salmon probably got the worst of it there with that head-on hit coming out turn 2.
That might be the end of the night. Let's see what happens. We can find the epicenter of that situation. Was a little further ahead, it looks.
It's at a hard real can. Machine.
Down to the inside.
And it's still right in front.
Looks like
I think he may have had help.
Looks like the 98 spun out hard and just sent everybody up into each other. This one's a little hard to nail down. The 68, excuse me. Side by side.
Washes up the track a little bit of door contact, knocks the truck a little loose, and looks like maybe a little bit of phantom contact there brought the truck completely around from there. The exit of turn 2 is really slick without the contact when you're on cold tires. And you couple that with a little couple door bangs here and there, and next thing you know, that truck's gonna go around backwards, and in front of that many other trucks, you're guaranteed a huge stack up.
And why so it did, unfortunately. Well, the lights are back out. Fortunately, we're going to get the race back on here. Cody Porter and Chad Genningsman at the front with Andrew Kotska and Ben Stevens just behind. Let's see if nerves have calmed at all and cooler heads prevail. Although I don't think that was a hot-headed situation, it was probably just a bit of unfortunate head.
It's a little over-aggression here at the start. Guys trying real hard. I mean, I said it earlier, it is so hard to pass. You want to be on the chip as much as you can, trying to get as many positions as possible at the early stages of these runs.
Absolutely. Let's see who's going to go for that early stage win. Green flag is out. There it goes. Porter with the jump, but he's not quite too far ahead for Genningsman to get lost. Genningsman's right behind him, not holding up anybody. We've still got stacks too wide all the way back. Only really one down to the dog leg. That's Genningsman.
Yeah, Genningsman down to the apron. I think he got a penalty on that last start. Bringing it in right now. Serving a drive-through.
Wow, black flag for passing, and that's going to hamstring the current series leader. Genningsman, the only one having to pit.
No, we got him yellow.
Looks like a 1, 2, 3 car wreck. Now, those are two separate incidents there. We had one spin on the inside. That's where the yellow came from. And then it looks like some unfortunate braking got people caught up down on the inside. Started here with Tom Ringer. Let's have a little look-see. Ringer on the outside.
Getting the good old slow-mo view here.
Ooh, just gets spun up.
Yeah. Looks like he came up the track a little bit on the 92 machine. There's not really much place us 92 could go. It's very easy on that dog leg to kind of lose positioning on your wheel where you're at. You see Brian Britt, victim of circumstances, caught up in it as well.
Yeah, we had some checkups down there. It sounds like some drivers getting caught up on the yellow and the dog leg.
Let's
Here
see
comes
what happened
Britt.
here with Brian. Oh, just huge contact to the back of the 30. I think it's a 30 machine. And no, the 38 machine, sorry. And around Brian went. Had a huge transfer and load. When you got the wheel cocked all the way to the left like that, will instantly snap these things around.
Really unfortunate.
Good
After
news for
yellow.
Brian. I think that he's going to be able to get the thing back on pit road, pull the fenders out, and I think he'll be all right.
Well, we're going to have to see. Hope, above hope for Brian Britt to get back out there, our Grid Vision boy. Be nice to see him back on the track after the unfortunate after yellow incident there. As for the rest of the cars, everyone's getting ready to stack back up. Cody Porter still out in the front, holding on to things. Andrew Kotska right behind him right now.
Kotska as well. That's a familiar name to me, but I can't quite place the reason why. Typically, if I remember somebody, though, it's because they're pretty dang good.
Well, he's hanging out here with the front of the list. Mostly because there's a name at the front of the list that's no longer there. You just tuned in, Chad Genningsman served a black flag for passing, I believe. From what I heard over the driver radio, he did an illegal pass on the restart. Had to immediately go in and serve some time. Now he's sitting pretty on 24th position.
Here's the question, though. I'm wondering if that penalty was able to be served before the caution flag came out. Because if the caution comes out, you basically just went down pit road for nothing. And if it is a passing under yellow, that's going to be a hold. That's a 40-second hold, if memory serves me correct.
40 seconds at a track where it only takes about 27 to go around is a costly situation for anybody. Now Genningsman's going to have to make these yellow flags work for him as he crawls his way back up bit by bit by bit.
Well, the good news for Chad is he did get that penalty on lap 4. So plenty of race for him to drive back from this position. We're just past 10% of the race distance as it sits.
So far, this race has been about as smooth as crunchy peanut butter.
That's one of the problems. This is one of those tracks on iRacing where it's just really hard to deliver green flag racing. Here,
yeah, that's true.
Richmond, Bristol, Martinsville, those are just tracks where the simulation aspects don't necessarily make for a decent quality event because of how difficult it is to get around, how easy it is to blow a line, and how hard you have to just charge to actually be relevant, I think.
Lights are back off on the pace car. The green flag is waving, and here we go. Out in front, Cody Porter, Corey Moore right behind him, but on the outside of Moore, it's Andrew Kotska in the 47 machine. Kotska holding onto that center groove very, very tightly. Now shooting down to the inside, potentially looking for second place. Ooh, not quite able to take it as he gets the squeeze, though. Lost about a quarter of a car length there from Corey Moore. Just couldn't quite get the spot.
See Kotska, they're trying to charge a run up there on that outside line, going to cut that exit to turn 2 to try and get a launch on this back straightaway to get him back to the rear bumper of the 11 machine of Moore. You see it's basically single file through the field now. Everybody realized we have to shape it up. And doing a good job up thus far.
Notice that too. We made it through a full lap. It was a tough enough race beginning, but now we're here. We've got guys that have tightened it up. We've made it through another full lap. Things are looking pretty good.
That's a cool helmet on Kotska there. Right around here. You see, I like what I'm seeing out of the 17 machine. No real crazy, jerky steering wheel movements.
Very smooth. He's not using the apron there. He's taking advantage of that smoothness and keeping his momentum up on the high side of the track through that dog leg.
And he's also thinking if I stay up here off of that apron, I lower the risk of damaging my truck, and I certainly lower the risk of wearing these tires out. That transition really hard on all of the above. Of course, when everybody's doing it, you know, there's no point not doing it, but get yourself a chance to settle here for a good long green flag run. You see him just go completely against what I'm saying here. Get yourself settled in for a long green flag run. It's better to stay off it, in my opinion, than go down to it.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, you know, the strategy can fluctuate in once tactics come into play.
Kotska caught the fence really hard coming out of turn number 2 there. Can't tell, it doesn't look like any real damage on the side of that 47 machine, so he should be good to go.
No, now here comes the 78 back up the track. I always get a little nervous when one person takes the apron and one doesn't, because those two clappers can come back just as hard. And sometimes if they're coming back up the track like that, you are not ready for it, or you're a little bit too low, they're going to just come right up into you.
Yeah, sometimes too, you hit down there and you catch it kind of weird and makes it pretty much impossible to stick it down to the bottom. You end up sliding up a little bit more than you expect it to. A little bit further in the pack right now, there's that 91 machine. There's the Grid Vision truck.
All right. Ooh.
That's not what we want to see you doing with it, Heath. Come on, buddy.
Bad timing to have the camera on our Heath Vision, or almost a Heath Vision truck, our Grid Vision truck there. We're in Heath Vision.
That'd be a pretty cool endorsement there.
I like it. I like it.
See him under fire right now from, I think that's Schroeder on the inside.
That would be Colton Gardner in the 21 machine. 74 of Scott Schroeder is just a little bit ahead. I think what's going on. Let's see what else is going on. Yes, there is a little bit of fighting going on, and now behind Snyder, actually, you've got Gardner and Kroll, but there's some movement happening here. Scott Schroeder has moved up 6 positions. Tyler Beeman has moved up 9 positions from his starting spot so far. So there's some challengers that are working their way up towards the top 5. But they're going to have to get through Gary Donnellan, who so far has not moved from 6th place since the race started.
I'll tell you what, though, the show of the race so far, look who's back up to 18th position. Restarted after that last wreck, tail end of the field. And that bounty, I'd take Chad Gunningsman, working his way back up into the picture gradually. Shades of Justin Allgaier.
Absolutely, he's doing good times. He's keeping his time steady with the pack he's in, but he is working his way back up slowly but surely. I think you're right. We've got to keep our eye on the back of the pack there and see who's going to be challenging Gunningsman and who's going to have to get around. Like right now, he's really tight with Dave Fuge. And there on the outside, that's Fuge Jr.
I was thinking for a second he was going to think about trying to take it 3 into turn 3, but thought better of it when I'm riding back behind him. Hoping that these two figure it out so he can mount the strike.
Probably a smart decision as Fuge Jr. mounts a strike of his own now. Shooting past the 24 of James Staples, or almost shooting. There we go. He's got the position. Staples on the outside. He's blocking now. The car behind him, and that is not yet. It is not yet. Who is that? That is Hunter Hughes. Thank you. I was lost for a second.
See Chad diving all the way down there, just about to the inside wall. Trying to close up that distance with that outside line, shorten up the track as much as you can. Not able to make a move coming out of turn 2, though. The outside line momentum already starting to show how much of a pain in the tail it can be to make moves here.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, just not a situation that Gunningsman can get through quickly. There's a lot of cars on the track tonight, and they are all going to be a ledge for him to climb one by one by one if he wants to keep that position at the top of the series standings. Also towards the top, let's just take a look at how things are spreading out. Things are definitely spreading out at the top of the list here. Almost a full second between Cody Porter in the lead and Andrew Kotska in second place. Kotska himself almost about a second ahead of Jordan Sailors. Yep. And so there's a pretty big gap forming between first, second, and third here. But Sailors is up 5 positions, so he's had the most improved so far, and he's going to be, I have a feeling that he's going to be trying to close that gap, although it is widening a little bit between him and Andrew Kotska. So we'll see how things go up there. A little bit of switching going on right now as Kevin Martin makes a pass. Martin down to the inside of the apron, comes back up. Woo! Very, very close there between him and Sean Stevens. Good pass by Kevin Martin, making use of all the track.
Saying that in front of the track, you just mentioned a little bit ago that advantage is growing between first and second. It's very classic Phoenix. So difficult to break through that dirty air bubble to get to the truck in front of you and actually be able to make a move to go for the lead. We saw it Sunday with the Cup race, and it is more or less a 1-for-1 here on iRacing.
Alrighty here. And once again, we've got eyes on the situation as the boys go around. We're looking for some tight battles. Let's see what we can find.
Right now, a little bit further in the pack, battle for 12th position. Brandon Barrier down to the inside of the 21 machine of Colton Gardner. Pretty tight here coming out turn number 2. Gardner's going to concede the spot, though. Barrier's going to get the position.
Gardner with that weight transfer, keeping himself off the wall. He's losing momentum now on the outside line and getting challenged by other drivers. The 69 machine of Kevin Martin specifically was just looking on the inside, but when he lost a little bit of speed.
Right now, Schneider's under fire from the 80 machine of Drew Crowell. See Schneider diving down to the bottom now, taking a spot away from the 74 of Scott Schroeder.
It's all his. It looks like the inside line is the place to do that pass. Now, we were talking about not a lot of passing happening at Phoenix, but it looks like there's a pretty steady trickle of it happening out of these guys tonight. They kept things pretty exciting here as we've been going around. Lap 30 now of 90. 5 laps to go to the end of stage 1. Remember, the first 10 cars that pass the start-finish line are going to be the points winners for stage 1. So let's see who it's going to be.
Yeah, what you're seeing right now is who brought the best piece of equipment, who's got a better vehicle for the long run. Right now, you see Porter's absolutely got this thing locked, though, as it sits all the way up there against the 3 and 4.
Yeah, the battle for 10th here, Tyler Beeman and Scott Schroeder. There is a lot going on here. Schroeder diving in, Beeman having to hit the brakes a little bit hard there. Lots of guys here as we are 2 wide, almost 3 wide now. Crossing the start-finish line here into lap 32. A lot of battling going on. That spot is still anyone's spot. There's only about a 10th between the guys who are fighting over 10th and 11th position right now. That's Tyler Beeman, Scott Schroeder once again. Once again, side by side, Beeman and Schroeder. Schroeder holding up the inside line a little bit. He's going to tap out, take the apron. Beeman says, no, I'm going to keep the wall. Does that cost him? Yes, it does. Just enough.
Man, these fellas are making me nervous up here.
Oh my goodness, it is pretty clenched. Scott Schroeder ekes his way into the 10th position now.
Huge push from the 69 machine to the 91. He's going to move him out of the line, coming into turn number 3.
Let's see if they can put it together. It looks like they have so far. 34 of 90. 2 to go before we get to the end of stage 1.
Yeah, those tires lifted off the track coming into turn 3. That's wild.
Wow. 1 for the books, 1 for the highlight reel.
And a little bit of payback. He's going to try to get back to him. He's down to the quarter.
Can he take it? That's the 91 of Tyler Beeman. It's Beeman and Barrier and Martin and Fuge all together here.
Man, you can tell Beeman is just absolutely irate with the way he's getting raced right now, too. He is not giving anybody favors.
No, it does seem like it. Unfortunately, Beeman now falling back just a little bit. He's in 14th. Scott Schroeder still holding on to that position he got a few laps ago. It looks like he might be our 10th place winner of stage 1. The actual winner of stage 1 being Cody Porter. Let's break down this top 10 as they cross the line. Let's see, any more switches going to happen? I don't believe so. So Cody Porter wins stage 1. Andrew Kotska, Jordan Sailors, Corey Moore, and Gary Donnellan round out your top 5 at the end of stage 1. We're going to take a little break here on Grid Vision, and when we get back, stage 2 will be coming at you live.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back on Grid Vision and about to go green. Right as I say it, there it goes. Green, green, green. We are go yet again here at Phoenix for Stage 2 of the SSRL Truck Series 5th race. And out to the front jumps Corey Porter. He's going to hold things out there. We've got a yellow flag out immediately, though, as it looks like we've got a crash in the backfield. Christopher Fuge.
Tell you what, it's been a night that Christopher Fuge will happily forget. Unfortunate circumstances here for the 68 machine again. We're going to get a look at what happened here. Oh, and just huge shot from behind by the 10 machine.
Youch.
Yeah, it's a rough one right there. That's a tough pill to swallow.
That's the 10 machine of Logan Joyle.
Still in charge, though.
Okay.
One thing that I've found about this place personally, man, being the leader here is probably the biggest key to success.
Seems
here
like
in Martinsville, just having control over the field is so valuable. You know, we go to the mile and a halves and the speedways, and you start on that pole, and you get a little bit of an advantage coming into 1 and 2, then it feels like they can come at you with about 20 more horsepower when you get down the back straightaway. Here at Phoenix, with just the dirty air being the way it is and how difficult it is to set up a pass, let alone be able to make the pass, it feels like you're in a different zip code before you even get out of the second corner.
Excuse me, hiccup. Just took a soda, and that was unexpected.
Oh, I thought you were snoring at me. I was like, man.
No.
This fact's that boring to you?
Oh, that was just the weirdest hiccup of my life right there. Okay. Don't try to drink Shirley Temple 7-Up while your broadcasting partner is talking. Otherwise, you might end up having a hiccup like that.
That didn't sound like that sounded like my dog sneezing.
Well, I'm glad I can do an impression of your dog. And this is the best I can do today.
Spot on regardless.
I think you're onto something about staying out in front here, being able to control the pace of the race, and that knowing that you're not going to be the one who gets clapped up or have to force an angle that your truck is just not ready to take is a lot of everything. Being up in front, even not just leading the race, just being up in front and being in that early gap, that 1 second, 2 seconds, so the first couple of cars, goes such a long way towards being able to make sure that you're just in one piece by the time that you're coming around the second stage of the race like this. And the guys who have been up in front are still up in front. Andrew Kotska has moved up 1 position. Corey Moore's moved up 3. He's in 4th now. Gary Donnellan has finally moved out of 6th. He's in 5th now. So you got a couple of people, whoop, right as I say that, he falls back into 6th. So he might be, I forgot where he actually is. He's probably in 5th or 6th. He's in 5th right now. So we'll see. We'll see as things go. If these guys up in front can stay up in front, but if one of them throws the error, you know, it's going to be.
Also, look who staked himself back up here just outside the top 10. Chad Ginningsman.
I'm back. Sorry, my headset cut out for a second. Yes, he did. Back in the top 15, back in the top 13, Chad Ginningsman.
Guaranteed top 35.
That's true. The lights are back out. We're looking for the green flag. Let's see what happens as the guys come back around. Green flag is waving, and here we go. Let's see what they got up in front to start things off. Cody Porter in the lead. Andrew Kotska, second place on the outside. Down on the inside, the number 1, Jordan Sailors, holding on to this 2-car column as everybody keeps it too wide going through 2.
Sailors still trying to work that inside line, trying to find an advantage over Kotska up there on the top. Not going to be able to find it down the back straightaway, but coming into turn 3, that inside line is going to prevail a little bit more than that top. But Kotska still getting a really good run up off the corner.
Down behind him, Corey Moore using the outside line. Wasn't quite sure what line he was going to be using. He just touched the apron for a second. Moore kind of waving back and forth a little bit. Not really sure, again, if he's going to keep that groove on the outside for his momentum or if he's going to try to use geometry to his advantage. But it looks like he's not quite ready to make the move on Kotska. Kotska is really angrily driving behind Sailors here. I think he's just trying to find the spot. But also, he's not using the apron either at this point. So let's see who's gets really aggressive as things go on here in stage 2. Right now, 48 out of 90 with only about 42 laps to go.
Right now we got our camera craned a little bit further in the back of the pack.
That's right. Who we got eyes on right now?
Right now we got Barrier, and lost some pace car, ate me.
That's all right.
Yeah, right now it's Barrier versus Westwood. Westwood at the bottom in that 92 machine. Barrier up there on the top.
I think Barrier just hit the wall a little bit there.
Not
Didn't
quite
cost
got
anything.
close to it, but not going to be able to get the momentum on that outside line, working 3 and 4. So hard to get the top to work up there. You got to have a really good set. You got to have a really good idea how to get in there. I still haven't figured it out here, and I've been racing this place 8 years. But here comes Barrier diving back down to the bottom, coming out turn number 2. Not able to make the run materialize, though. The spot's going to go to Kyle Westwood for the time being.
Westwood up 5 positions. He's in 6th now, eyeing Ben Stevens, looking to get his way into the top 5 if possible. Up at the front, there actually hasn't been a huge gap that's formed yet.
No.
Cody Porter still fighting hard against Jordan Sailors.
Look who's working himself into the top 10 now. Chad Gunningsman down to the inside of the 69 machine of Martin. Martin stuck up there on that outside line. Gunningsman's going to get 11th place here on the back straightaway.
Contact with the 22. That was Kevin Martin. He hit the wall briefly and then came back down and hit the 22 just a little bit.
And Dave Fuel Jr., the 22 machine. Both of them go keep it straight. And hopefully keep calm heads, too.
Yeah, it looks like things are going to stay nice and calm. That was where it's at. It was a wild ride for Dave Fuge Jr. So it looks like things are still good to go, though, for Kevin Martin. Hopefully he can keep it off the wall and keep it nice and straight. Chad Ginsman.
Barrier with a huge run on Ben Stevens here coming into turn number 1. Threw the thing all the way up against the fence in 3 and 4, charged up that momentum, sent it down there on that dog leg, and he's going to clear that machine of Ben Stevens.
Just barely. Just ekes by an inch. Very good job out of Brandon Barrier there, as he is now 3 up into 6th place. Spitting distance from Kyle Westwood.
When I saw my way up against the fence, I thought he was going to be along for the ride. Was not expecting to see him make that much momentum up there off the top of turn 4.
It seems like there is some momentum to be saved up there on the outside. I guess it just depends on how much you can bring into the turn with you.
Thing kind of calming down up here at the front. Jordan Saylor still directly in the tire tracks of the 04 machine of Cody Porter.
Here's a side-by-side right now. That's Dave Hughes Jr., the 22 on the inside. On the outside, Kevin Martin now down. Ooh, very, very close. Almost clips the nose off of Hughes Jr.
Yeah, these two have been working on each other for a while. Pretty much just a drop of the green flag here on this restart.
You're exactly right. It's been a back and forth dance between these two cars. Now it looks like Hughes is settled in, but maybe looking for the jump. Can he get it?
There we go. Huge dive a little bit further in the back. 92 machine of Westwood down there on the inside. Westwood still trying to get familiar with the new car numbers and names.
That's all right. The 92 is Kyle Westwood, I believe.
But he's got a mirror full of Brandon Barrier right now in the 53.
Barrier following his line closely. Westwood now sliding out to the wall, whereas Barrier is keeping it down deep into the apron.
Westwood got a really good quarter there. Turn 4. Barrier diving it deep into 1 and 2, though. Going to get right back to the back bumper of the 92 machine of Westwood. But going to stall out once he gets there to the rear deck lid.
Let's see how he uses that apron again on this pass, because he got a lot of speed off of it last time. And it is such a sharp turn to get down onto that apron.
Oh, he's going to get really loose. Probably picked up a little bit of gravel on the tires there running the bottom.
Just a bit.
Killed his momentum from 1 and 2.
Westwood into the tail of Moore.
Westwood knows it's time to go. He sees that truck behind him diving all the way down to that apron, down to the flat. He knows that it's just a matter of time before he tucks up side by side with him. Moore kind of holding him up right now.
Truly he is. He just put himself right square into the fender of Moore for a little bump. And there comes the pass.
Westwood with a really good run up off the top through 1 and 2. Going to get down to the bottom, a little bit of contact into 3 and 4. But Westwood's going to take it. Move him up to P4.
Not bad, Kyle Westwood. Brandon Barrier still close behind though, still wants a slice of that car. Contact. Ooh, Barrier keeps it straight.
These guys are giving it all they got right now because they know how difficult it is. Barrier now going to move up into the 5th position over Corey Moore. These two trucks are marching to the front.
As you cross the line, 62 out of 90. This race heating up, being a solid race now that everybody's gotten their yellow flag jitters out.
Also, Gunning's been kind of off to a little bit of a struggle here on this run. I was expecting to see a lot more charges through the field. Just kind of mired back in 12th position in no man's land here.
Yeah, without much push, without much motivation, it's going to be hard to climb that, especially with natural gaps forming in the packs now. Genningsman was dealt a bad hand. I mean, I think he took too much advantage of that restart. Anybody's going to be a little bit shaken by that kind of situation where you get a black flag and you're a lap or two down. and you're a lap down, and you're just climbing the rest of the race. It's only, and I'm going to say this, it's only a 90-lap race. And that seems like a lot of time, but unless you're really working yellow flags and you're really getting lucky with cars getting blown out and the system getting rearranged, the list getting rearranged, it's still a long climb. And so Genningsman's got a long ways to go yet if he wants to try to even break back into the top 5.
Tell you what, somebody that's slowly starting to check his way out from the pack is your race leader, Cody Porter. Running the fastest laps on track right now. Everybody else running 7s, 8s, 9s. Cody's just up here at the front running 6s.
Well, that's why he's our leader. Right now, it's without any help at all. He's out here doing qualifying laps of 2.6, 26.6. Very, very fast stuff out of Cody Porter. Jordan Sailor's behind him, looking like he wants a slice of it, but still a half a second off and not necessarily gaining.
Keith Schneider also making big moves here, finding himself up into the 7th position.
Got some people heading into the pits here. Corey Moore is heading into the pits. Getting set up for the end of the race run. Getting some gas in as well. As we remember, SSRL, I believe, is not wrong. They run about a 60% fuel tank. So that fuel strategy is going to start to come into play here.
You know what? Somebody that's really fast right now, too. Haven't talked about many tonight with the 12 machine and Gary Donnellan. Up here in the 6th position. Run some pretty competitive times, competitive with the lead times right now.
He started in 6th. He's moved up a little bit, actually. I think he's in 4th right now. Donnellan is one of the more consistent drivers of this race. And that can always still pay off. You never know.
I like it when I see him, you know. Hasn't been in too much controversy, just running a steady race. Not trying to overachieve and put himself backwards into that fence. Did a good job.
You know what that's gotten him? A bronze medal right now. Not bad.
Yeah, we're going to see how everything shakes out once we get done with the pit stops here.
That's true. That's true. I don't want to give him that medal. I don't want to give him that medal too soon, but at least he worked his way up to 3rd, and now he's in the middle of a good competitive spot for those pit stops. To take advantage of the leader's position in the pit stop, get in, get out, and try to work his way back up with the fresh tires and with the fresh tank of gas.
Right now, the man of the hour, Porter up here at the point, 3-second advantage over 2nd place Kotska. Now I'm wondering how that undercut is going to pay off for the guys that pit before him. How much time Porter's going to lose here, staying out as long as he is.
That's a good question. He's going to have to get back in at some point. He is still out. He's setting the pace, though, still for a lot of the guys who are out with him. So I'm not sure if it's going to impact him too much yet.
Tell you what, 20 laps left in this thing. He's going to come bring it in as soon as he possibly can.
He better.
Unless he thinks he can roll the dice and go for a fuel save strategy.
Just throw it into neutral in the straights, or in the turns, excuse me, and just shut it down. That could work.
I'll tell you what, fuel saving races are fun. It's leg day though. Spend most of the time throwing the thing down in neutral, clutch, engine off. It's like tap dancing at 150 miles an hour.
Well, our strategy for Cody Porter was wrong. He just hit the pits.
Good.
Better, more power to him. That's exactly the move in this position here. As Kotska moves into 1st.
I don't think there's many better color combos on a race car than black, day-glow yellow, and silver.
No, siree.
Always works.
It does look pretty classy.
Right now, though, Kotska up here in the lead. 2 seconds over 2nd place. Roll.
And the battered Dave Fuge Jr. in 3rd place.
It's been a bad luck night for him, man, but he's been making it work.
It's true. He's been the truck that could.
I give him credit.
Definitely. These trucks, I've noticed that I've seen race-ending hits, but I've also seen these things drive away from things that would make other things weep.
Oh, we got one around further in the pack.
Uh-oh.
Caution is out.
No.
Oh, and that is not Gary.
Not Gary. Ah. Gary Donnellan is around, throwing the yellow.
Just got really loose coming out of turn number 4. And be a testament to cold tires. But yeah, this will absolutely change everything. We got a handful of guys that didn't pit yet, and the majority of the field that did that are stuck a lap down on older stuff. This is a game changer. And look who has snuck his way into 5th position. Hang out.
Now going in with the rest of the pack, it's Chad Genningsman sneaking into 5th place.
Tell you what, I wonder if that's what he was going for.
Going for a yellow?
He didn't have the pace, that run, that he'd had in runs prior. I wonder if he was saving fuel the entire run.
Could be. We might get a chance to talk to him.
Man, it's always a smart move, you know, when you see them start wrecking early in the race, to kind of just back it down once you go through your pit cycle. Let these guys take care of themselves, because they're more likely to wreck when they come out pit road on those cold tires than they've been the entire race. But you got to adapt so much to the cold Goodyears.
There goes Genningsman out of the pits now. It's going to leave him in 6th.
Of course, moves like that is why I, highlighted Chad.
Still out on the field is Charles Abert. As I say that, he pits in. A bit late to the party, but that's okay.
Might have been lucky.
Ah, fair enough.
I think Lucky Dog goes around while the leaders pit.
Yep, pits later. Got the camera on the pit lane here, watching for the sign from the signal man that it's time to go.
Tell you what, we've got a guy up here in the lead now that I don't think we've mentioned once tonight. James Staples in the 24 machine.
You're right. I am remiss. We haven't mentioned at all that he's up 21 positions from starting in 22nd. Very, very impressive.
Up here on the point with the Kyle Larson Tribute EPI machine.
And he's on fresh tires.
Ford Freshies right behind him. It's going to be Andrew Kotska. Basically been the bridesmaid since we dropped the green flag. We know he's got a fast truck. Let's see what he can do with it, because he was so fast that last run, this first handful of laps. It's going to be a short dash to the finish here, so that's somebody to keep your eyes on.
It is. We'll go only have about 13 laps to go to the end of the race.
Dave Hugh Jr. going to hold the bronze as it sits right now. Benjamin Stevens up here in 4th. And in 5th place, the show of the night, Chad Gunningsman.
Everybody getting stacked up and getting ready. The 2 columns are forming. The lights are off on the pace car. Pretty soon it's going to be green flag racing at Phoenix yet again. And if you can believe it, this race is about to get started.
Yeah, you see the wave around trucks coming in at about Mock Jesus back there.
Let's just hope they don't cause too much trouble. Look for it. Here comes the green flag, and there they go. James Staples out in the lead. Pretty good jump, not bad. Andrew Kotska in second, 2x2 with Dave Fuge Jr. Fuge down to the inside. He's going to hold on to that line. Kotska on the outside. Staples in front as we get straightened out here for the last 11 laps at Phoenix.
And Staples right now is in the perfect position. Working his way through, though, a little bit further back. Chad Gunningsman up there on the top line. He's going to be up in the 4th position now.
Gunningsman, one of the guys that we said could do really, really good tonight. One of our picks, actually. That was the pick of Tyler Burris. He's in.
Here comes Kotska, though. Kotska with a huge charge on the outside through 1 and 2. He's going to dive to the bottom of Staples here into 3 and 4. And I think he's going to get it. Staples going to wash up into the gray a little bit, get loose, and now Kotska's got the lead in the 47 machine.
That would have been a win if that was the checkered flag. What a push by Andrew Kotska to get there before the line. Now he's out in the lead. He's the one holding everybody off as Staples falls back. Ben Stevens in second place, though, holding on to it. Staples on the inside, falling back even further now. And guess who's there waiting to take that position from James Staples? Chad Gunningsman moves into third place.
Again. Stevens just about lost it. Here comes Gunningsman. He's going to take P3 coming into turn number 1. But now the battle's starting to shake up here between Ben Stevens and Andrew Kotska. Kotska with the advantage. Trying to come down, take a little bit of the clean air off of the nose of that 878 machine. Going to force Stevens to slide up the track a little bit there through 1 and 2.
Stevens wiggling, just getting a little bit loose as he gets out of the end of that turn. Holding on as best he can. Kotska's got a nice clean line. He dives the apron. He knows it's going to be his best bet. Is every inch of geometry has got to work for him as he finishes up this race now. 84 out of 90. He rides the middle groove. That gives Ben Stevens a little bit of room, but not enough.
Stevens catches the apron. He's going to get a huge slide there. Going to give more advantage to Kotska. Stevens with a way deeper entry into turn number 3. Kotska prioritizing corner exit, going to pull away a little bit down here on the front straightaway, cutting the dog leg.
Let's see how things go. A little bit further back, Frederick Seagraves Jr., 23 positions up. He's moved up. We lost Dave Fuge Jr. Dave Fuge Jr. is called back to 9th place. Seagraves now in 4th. Gunningsman in 3rd. Stevens in 2nd. Kotska in 1st as we are at 85 out of 90.
I'll tell you what, Stevens is giving it everything he can to try to get to the rear bumper of that 47 machine of Kotska.
Can he get there, though?
He's just not finding it right now. Running that lower end of the track is the only option he has because he's trying to keep clean air to the nose of it. But Kotska running that outside line through 3 and 4, really doing a great job of building that momentum. Sorry, 1 and 2, they flipped the track backwards.
Well, you're right either way. You're right half the time. How about that? It's gonna be a race about momentum, and Kotska has got it. He is using the car's weight very, very well, keeping that speed up, and that middle groove has been paying out in dividends as Ben Stevens just cannot get the speed out of his truck to get up with Andrew Kotska as we have 4 laps to go.
Coming through turn number 4 now. Put 3 on the board. Andrew Kotska with the advantage still. And Stevens, I think, burned his stuff up early in this dash, trying to get to the rear bumper, and I don't think he's going to have anything for a charge, because he's slowly starting to fall into the hands of Gunningsman.
Yeah, Gunningsman looking for that 2nd place silver medal. He might be able to pull that off, actually. Gunningsman now very, very close behind Ben Stevens. Can he get the speed, though? He's only got a few more laps to do it. 3 laps to go. And actually challenging Gunningsman for the bronze medal, it's Frederick Seagraves.
Where did he come from?
I was going to say he came from 23 positions back. Seagraves Jr. hot on the fender of Chad Gunningsman. Only a couple laps to go. He's been challenging him the whole time, though. The 59 car. Can he find a line? Looking for a big slide on him. Doesn't quite get it. Gunningsman with the block.
Oh, he's got a good run, though, coming in 1 and 2.
Final lap, folks. This is it. All the marbles. Kotska's out front. Gunningsman and Seagraves are fighting for 3rd right now. Stevens looks like he's going to hold on to 2nd. The battle for 3rd is a tight one. There goes the checkered flag. Here they come. And Andrew Kotska wins tonight's race. Ben Stevens in second, Chad Genningsman in third. That's your 1, 2, 3. We'll do the full results later. What a race. A bit of a rocky start turned into a smooth peanut buttery finish.
I'll tell you what, man, I called him the bridesmaid right before we went into that green flag, and he proved me wrong real quick. Andrew Koska getting out here, flexing his muscles, and showing that he deserves to get out here, get this win, and potentially fight for a championship at the end of the season.
Wow, what a victory. You're right. You did call him the bridesmaid, and he said, I'll show you. He caught the bouquet, and then it was him up next on the altar. Andrew Kotska with the victory out of Canada for tonight's race, the SSRL Truck Series at Phoenix. We're going to throw it to one last commercial, and then we're going to give you the full results, including some driver interviews here on Grid Vision, so stay tuned.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
All right, welcome back to the SSRL Truck Series. sitting here looking at the results for tonight's race here at Phoenix. Race winner Andrew Kotska, followed by Benjamin Stevens in second. Third is going to go to Chad Gunningsman, with fourth place going to Frederick Seagraves Jr., who, from what I've heard, is actually his first start of the season. So good way to start it out. Fifth is going to be Sean Stevens, followed by Cody Porter. Dave Hughes Jr. is going to bring it home seventh, followed by James Staples in eighth. Ninth place is going to go to Evan Ethel, and running at your top 10 is going to be Jason Kratke.
All right, and 11th place, Drew Prohl. 12th, Kyle Westwood. 13th, Heath Snyder. 14th, Jordan Sailors. 15th, Brendan Barrier. 16th, Kevin Martin. 17th, Corey Moore. 18th, Tyler Beeman. 19th, Charles Abert. And 20th, Colton Garner.
And in 21st, we are going to have Gary Dunn. Oh my God, sorry about that. Gary Danilin, followed by Patrick Stein. 23rd is going to go to Hunter Hughes, with Jay Salmon running on 24th. 25th is going to go to Brian Brick, followed by Art Nicotera with Tom Ringer in 27th. 28th is going to be Todd Parrott, with the 29th going to Joseph Tucker, and rounding out the top 30 is going to be Scott Schroeder.
Bringing things home. 31st, Christopher Fuge. 32nd, Logan Joyle. 33rd, Brian Alphin. And 34th, Gabriel Landy.
What a race, man.
Yes. Oh, that was quite good. That was a good way to do. We shook off some stuff at the beginning, and then now here at the end, we've got a winner, Andrew Kotska, who really put on a great performance. As you said, we're going to get the chance to talk to him, though. First, I think we're going to talk to Ben Stevens, who I will let you talk to, Sheldon. Go on and say hello.
Ben Stevens, Sheldon Atkins up here in the booth. Solid day for you all around, man. You were really just flirting around that top 5 range all race. That caution at the end really looked like it benefited you, especially with strategy and everything. Getting out there, getting a P2. What did you need to get toe-to-toe with Andrew Kotska there on that last run, though?
Oh, man. Honestly, I feel like I probably needed a little bit more turn. The truck wasn't turning enough to really get off that corner, and it seemed like Andrew had found that there on the end of that run there with that 10-lap shootout. But I was also hoping to maybe on that restart, maybe if he was going to pass the 24, I think it was, maybe try to catch him off guard and try to make a move that way. But ultimately, it just wasn't meant to be. And with a top 5 truck, I'll definitely, or even a top 10 truck, I'll definitely take second place out of all this.
Yeah, man, like I said, really quiet evening, and there was a couple times on that last run, though, where you really almost ended up having to put her back on the hauler. There, 1 and 2, I could tell you were pushing as hard as you could, because there were some heart-stopping moments watching you come up off of turn 2 there for those last handful of laps.
Yeah, for sure. Me and Corey, it always seems we seem to find each other, not only in this series, but in different series. We always seem to find each other on the track, and I almost kind of have one of those moments, we'll say. And I'm kind of glad we were able to save that and keep on going, but definitely provides some entertainment for sure.
Absolutely. Well, a good clean night for you and a good strong finish. Definitely going to help you out in the points for the season. Who all do you want to thank for this top 5 performance today, though?
Well, obviously, first and foremost, got to thank veterans, as I do every day. Obviously, it's Veterans Day. Just thank High Velocity Racing to get this opportunity to race here. Thank Dave Fuge for allowing us to be able to race, and and thank you to my wife for also allowing me to race and have all this equipment that I have too.
Well, man, thanks for putting on a good show for us tonight, and looking forward to interviewing you more as we continue through the season.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the broadcast, guys.
Okay, that was Ben Stevens. Now we've got Chad Genningsman. Chad, how are you today?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing pretty good. What a race today. You had quite the setback, I gotta say. It looks like that. Tell us a little bit about what was going through your head when you saw that black flag.
Not too much, because I missed where they said there'd be a penalty, so if it was mentioned, it was my fault. So just kind of, I don't know, just kind of, I've been in the back at other races this year, so it's just a matter of taking it easy, not putting the truck in a bad position. So with 90 laps, it was restarting 25th, but there was still a lot of time. So it was basically just try to get a feel for the truck in that first stage and then get a good idea of adjustments and then see what happens at second stage.
You became the phantom of the second stage, working your way back up through the top 10. Very, very, very good run, and it got you all the way back up to third. Tell us, do you think that do you think maybe one more yellow, or what would it take you to get that little extra oomph to get up to Ben Stevens there?
Honestly, probably more adjustments. Just even with, I found out that first stage that my truck was really tight. So during that stage break, I took a pretty good swing at it, but as I kind of realized during that second stage, it still built pretty tight. So I think really I needed another shot at adjustments to really make a difference, which even if we got green white checkers, we weren't pitting. So got really lucky that it was a field mileage race where I think me, Andrew, Ben, we're all going to make it saving. So we all got track position when that yellow came out. So really salvaged a good day just because of kind of got lucky cautions, lucky timing, and then we were able to have a good enough truck to hold on to third at the end.
Absolutely, and so you did. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for today's race? Anyone you want to shout out to?
I just want to thank League or Dave and all the league admins. I know we had a couple issues this session tonight, so thanks for all their effort working through those and making sure we had a good race. And then thank you guys for broadcasting. And want to thank everybody else for having a pretty good race tonight.
Well, thank you very much, sir, and we look forward to seeing you race again. And you're at the top of the series list. We look forward to further races from you.
Yep, thank you guys.
Have a great night. And now I'm going to pass it back to Sheldon. You're going to talk to our race winner, Andrew Kotska.
Man, Andrew, I made a comment. Don't hit me too hard for it. I said you were the bridesmaid on that last caution coming to the green flag, because it felt like every time I looked up, you were in second place. And man, you stole that lead before I could even bat an eye on that restart, and just walked away with it. Talk me through those last 10 laps and what was going through your head, buddy.
Yeah, those last 10 laps were crazy. I mean, that caution came out, and I thought to myself, I'm like, I was going to be able to save enough fuel to probably make it there at the end. But yeah, we had that restart, and I knew James there, he took 2 tires, so I had a good shot of getting around him, and I needed to do that, or else I would have had Ben there really quickly on my back. So once I was able to get around James, I just tried to maintain that lead in front of Ben. I knew he was pushing hard to try to get me there, and I knew we had a really strong truck here tonight, so I just tried to park it in front of Ben and try to pull away a little bit by a little bit each lap there to get that win.
So I talk a lot about, you know, the characteristics of the dirty air and all those factors. And from what I was looking, were you trying to throw a little bit of shade back there behind you? Because
maybe a little bit. I mean, yeah, we all know how much these the dirty air affects these cars. So trying to do a little bit of air blocking there, always to kind of mess up the guy behind. But most of the time, I was just taking my normal lines around there. I wasn't really trying to mess around too much, except maybe in the end there, trying to stay in front.
Man, you had an absolute rocket and ran a perfect race tonight. How's it feel? You know, just points wise alone, kind of take a little bit of pressure off your back as we get a little bit later into the season.
Oh yeah, it's great to finally get a win here at this point of the season. I know I've been close for most of the races we've had, but just a little bit off on setups, and found something here like about 20 minutes before the race tonight, and was able to use that to get the win here. Had a bunch of our guys running up front to part of Mad Spartan Racing. Unfortunately, a few of them got caught up with that caution at the end and trapped as a wave around, never really got back up to the front. So hopefully we'll get more of them back up front next week.
Man, absolutely well deserved and hard fought win. Who all do you want to thank for this dub tonight?
Yeah, first of all, thanks to you guys for broadcasting this race at Grid Vision. You guys do an amazing race every week for us. Shout out to the SSRL League and all the admins here. I know they work hard to deal with all the fun that we put up with them in here. And shout out to the whole Mad Sim Spartan Racing team. Great race by everyone tonight, and can't wait to come back out next week.
Well, man, looking forward to get the opportunity to call you next week and see how it goes. Thanks for coming up here and talking with us, and have yourself a good night, man. Try not to burn it down too much, all right?
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great one.
You too, buddy.
And that's that for tonight's race. Any takeaways you've got, Sheldon?
Man, I am I am so excited to be covering this series through the rest of the year. This has been an awesome night. These guys put on one heck of a show. A little bit messy at the start, but that's just that's the bugs of Phoenix. You see it all the time. Like I mentioned earlier with the shorter tracks, even the best can't get away with having a handful of cautions at some point. And I think these guys did a really good job pulling up the reins and getting down to business when it mattered. So aside that, great race, great battle there at the end. Those last 10 laps were absolutely exhilarating. And yeah, it's good to be here.
Well, I'm just going to throw a big ditto on top of all that you just said, because I fully agree on every single point. And my takeaways were pretty much the same. What a final 10 laps there. What a wonderful race we had. And I'm looking forward to more SSRL. Every Monday, you're going to get this broadcast team. So if you liked it, go ahead and tell your friends to join you next time. Spread the message and the love of Grid Vision. We're going to be broadcasting a lot of great iRacing for you folks, including the Masters Series tomorrow. So look forward to that. And from the entire Grid Vision team, we'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcasted and are starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook or X or email us at info@gridvision.live. Congratulations again to Andrew Kotsko on winning tonight's race from Phoenix. This has been Joe LaCastro, Sheldon Atkins, and our producer, Taylor Burris. We'll see you next time on The Grid.